Planned Parenthood makes zero profit on any fetal tissue donations.
You are reimbursed for what costs?
Simply costs of preservation, transfer, you know.
If we alter our process and we are able to obtain intact fetal cadavers, it's all just a matter of line items.
That would be $100 per specimen. 50 specimens per day would be $5,000 per day that Planned Parenthood was collecting from fetal tissue. Extrapolate that, $120,000 per month. That is certainly not recouping cost.
In terms of areas that I can contribute to the organization, both locally and nationally, is diversification of revenue streams. Well, so under the scope of where we probably have an edge over other organizations, our organization has been doing research for many, many, many years. And we've had studies in which the company, or in the case the investigator, has a specific need for a certain portion of the products of conception, and we bake that into our contract and our protocol that we follow this. So we deviate from our standard in order to do that. Telling you this so then we can get creative about when and where and under what conditions can we interject something that is specific to the tissue procurement needs.
Sorry, that goes to my perfect for my next. Can you get creative? Can you alter if we say we need a liver?
Or not just liver, thymus, but let's say neural tissue is
neural
very
tissue
difficult
is
because
could you adjust
the
the procedure if you knew they need high volume of this? Could you match that and
18 to 22 week neural specimens, in
so that
both
it's
hemispheres intact.
you could do that?
Yeah, I think we can. I mean, some of it is really outside. Some of it will be happenstance because sometimes as the procedure is happening, the procedure itself for the removal is generally standardized, and I'm saying generally loosely, generally standardized. And so just depending on the patient's anatomy, how many weeks, where it's placed in the uterus, we're going to potentially be able to have some that will be more or less intact, and then some that will not be. So, but it's something that we can look at exploring how we can make that happen, so we have a higher chance. It'll probably also require a little bit of input from the doctors, because the doctors are the ones asking, directly doing that, and when it matters, in the cases of when it's mattered, and the physicians also need an intact specimen, they can make it happen. So we just need to figure out how that we can do this, under our project needs.
How many providers practice in the second trimester?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Everybody that is here does.
And really, specifically the later than 16-week cases, I guess.
I want to say that we have 6.
6 providers that go beyond 16 weeks. Oh wow.
And that's something we'll have to discuss, with the docs and see how they can do it, because some of our doctors in the past had projects and they're collecting the specimens, so they do it in a way that they get the best specimens. So I know it can happen.
The doctors were also doing research. Oh wow.
So
very good. I'm more on the business end of it. I know that just going with the history of what's happened and wanting to not have that happen again. So we for specific specimens, the compensation would be higher because we know you're going to run into problems.
There's going to be more.
How do we frame that so that we're not saying we're giving a higher.
Yeah, we can work it out in the context of obviously the procedure itself is more complicated, so that
Right.
anything that we integrate into that procedure without having you cover the procedural cost is going to be higher, right? So
Right.
anything about higher gestational age, there's more opportunity for complication, there's more administrative time involved. Sometimes the procedures are longer. So then anything that we piggyback onto that for collection purposes, obviously, would have to reflect that additional time, cost,
Right.
administrative burden.
So that our compensation that's higher to you for our specific specimen intact could be built
And
into
that's something that getting more information about it, as intact as you need, how we're going to do that. Then from there, when I'm working with our clinical trials and all of our additional specimen collection needs, I'm pretty bullish about getting as much information as I can prior to budgeting.
Well, that your financial background, really, I think that's what you can see the benefit of this financially. Just having that background and seeing that there is it's gold out there. And it can be so beneficial. So I'm glad that you had that background so that you see the financial benefits of getting the right specimen and getting it intact. And if you have to change the procedure just a little bit within the framework that keeps it, we're all talking about it the same way in the right way. But that financial gain and to your staff just knowing this is the end.
I think everyone realizes, especially because my department contributes so much to the bottom line of our organization here, even though we're one of the largest affiliates. Our research department is the largest in the United States, larger than any of the other affiliates combined.
Wow.
If that provider is needing to change the technique a little bit, and I know I'm going against my side of this, but I'm okay with, no, I want you to be paid per specimen, and rather than, oh, here, just ship this off. No, this is what we're looking for, and if you can do that and it compensates you and financially that's helping you to grow your clinic, I'm willing to do that.
And so if we alter our process and we are able to obtain intact fetal cadavers, then we can make it part of the budget that any dissections are this, and splitting the specimens into different shipments is this. I mean, it's all just a matter of line items.
And so what are they? Are they requesting just liver or liver thymus? Liver thymus long bone?
Everything. CNS, brain, kidney, thymus, liver, spleen, femur, bone marrow, hematopoietic stem cells from 14 to 22 weeks of gestation.
They're going to engraft all of those or just the hematopoietic? Purpose and objectives.
And they want it up to 22 weeks.
Yeah, including CNS, brain. Wow, they want everything. See, so that's the thing. So for a study like that, if we could provide, just a whole cadaver, and then they can take exactly what they want with the full quality, and everything, that is actually going to be ideal for them.
Well, it would make me very happy for us to finish up what we need to do, and I can put you in contact with them.
And their range ranges 14 to 22 weeks is what they're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and I was wrong. They want 120.
120. This is huge. Are there any fresh specimens from today that we can still look at, or?
We had a really long day and they're all mixed up together in a bag. Yet if I would have known 10 minutes ago, I would have saved something.
You know what, though, if we could get if we could just, that doesn't, I mean, it's not like we need something today, but if we could get a visual today of it, that would be a good thing. Is that possible?
Yeah, let me see.
Mainly,
That one's probably frozen.
what we're looking for is like a visual baseline of like intactness and everything, and what's that, just so that we know like,
intact they are.
Right.
Yeah, they
so like on a typical day, like kind of what that looks like, and then
And
what
it
sort
varies
of.
like based on gestation. Sometimes they come out really intact. Do you want to do?
You're not gonna see nothing intact today, because the way we collect the tissue, it
Yeah.
all gets collected into one container.
We either, you know what? Is it cremation?
What was the latest case that you did today?
The latest case we did today was a 5 week and 3 days.
No.
Oh,
OR, the
20.
OR.
It was a 20. Oh, I know what you mean.
Right.
20 stationing. And that was one of the very first ones. So I'm assuming that one could almost be frozen.
So we're oftentimes looking for liver and thymus are two of the most in demand.
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Here you go.
See now this. Sean, can you help me out? So I think this is lung, right? I don't
Yes,
think this is
that's correct.
kidney. Yeah, these are lungs because
That's
that's the trachea in the middle
Yes.
These are.
So the intestines right here. Right here. See?
there. Yeah.
This comes out, like I said, the organs come out really, really well because you can
Right.
see all the intestines
Right.
pretty much almost like
And then this is a
intact.
big little placenta right here.
Yes.
Do you ever see thymus?
In this case is really important. Whenever we do like the 20 to 22 weekers we do,
Uh-huh.
you get a lot better.
But it's difficult to find thymus at this gestation.
Yeah.
What is the age of this?
This is
This patient was like 18 weeks, I think.
is this this is limb. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is like scapula.
Yeah.
That-
The other thing that plays a tremendous part in this all is the dilation
Exactly.
that you've obtained.
Exactly.
And also how, for lack of a better word, how cooperative the patient is during the procedure.
Oh, really? But are they under conscious sedation? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
There's conscious sedation, but there's also times where it's just not. You've pretty much maxed out, and there's tolerance.
Oh.
Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult.
Mhm.
They're completely relaxed. Sometimes it's a lot easier to not do so many passes in the forceps. So it just really varies. And like I said, a lot of it does depend on the dilation that was obtained overnight. And like all of our procedures over 20 weeks actually go through a 2-stage dilation process. So usually like the cervix is, like for this procedure, cervix easily like at 3 centimeters. What we do in the OR is that we lay them out to account for everything before it kind of gets put back in the basin and just like sealed up and packaged up. Because we actually do a lot of collections for sexual assault cases. Kind of, but with that it's different. It's like some placenta and a long bone. But it's still very, it's very cleaned up. So it's different than this as well. So.
These orbits are good too, and at this stage you start to get the retinal pigment epithelium,
Yes.
which is in the back, which is you've collected that before.
So all the orbits are so easy, like 95% of the
They're easy to find too, even in the early gestation, because you're just looking
they
for
come
the.
out like firmer a month type deal because it whittles down some.
Is that a viable number for you?
How many per month? Or the gestational age, 14 to 16, or
No, 40 from like 16 to 22.
There's how many per-
about
yeah.
40 to 50 easy.
per month?
Yeah. Although given Penny Fellowship in Columbia, the active researcher, so she's very well versed in what she needs to do.
To just change up just a little bit. Okay.
They've already talked with EPFA, done Epitola and the
Oh,
whole
okay.
group up there, and because fetal tissue donation varies so much state by state, EPFA is moving away from a standardized policy.
Yeah, so because I attended the patient service
Yeah.
day, and Kristen Flood did talk about fetal collection and stuff like that. So yeah.
Huh, very interesting. Remember when I first got here and it was, you have to have this form, it has to be like this.
We had to have this particular consent form, very specific. But yeah, no, that's what Kristen was saying. Because
Interesting.
they're encouraging more participation, but they don't want to get too. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, cool. And any idea why the other affiliates in Texas think it's illegal?